Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh and this is your stimulus check update for the second stimulus package for Thursday, July 30th. I hope everyone is having a good and safe week so far. In this video, I'll be discussing both the first and second stimulus checks, including what Donald Trump is now saying about the second round of stimulus payments. I'll also be discussing unemployment, hazard pay, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you wouldn't mind real quickly liking this video, giving me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so according to a recent study by The Ascent, 31.5% of Americans say they could not live for more than a month without the enhanced federal unemployment benefits. Nearly 2,000 Americans who were surveyed have experienced an income loss since March. Now, the key findings in the survey include most Americans experienced their income loss in March, right when the pandemic hit home. Additionally, 42.8% of Americans who lost income lost between 10% and 49% of their earnings. Furthermore, workers earning less than $15,000 a year were most likely to lose all of their income compared to moderate and high earners. And finally, 64.9% of Americans had to cut expenses due to income loss, while 26.2% took out some type of loan. This has been a really tough situation for many Americans. What are your personal thoughts on this? If you're currently receiving federal unemployment benefits, how much of an impact would you personally feel if they got reduced from $600 on a weekly basis down to something like $200 to $300 on a weekly basis? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. With the federal unemployment benefits set to expire on July 31st, Congress needs to act quickly to get something passed. We really don't have much time to lose. And I totally understand, there definitely needs to be a lot of negotiation that needs to take place before this next relief package gets passed. However, I say let's first pass the most important pieces of legislation, such as unemployment and direct stimulus payments. And then, after we pass those pieces of legislation, then at that point we can go on to other parts in the bill. And even though once the federal unemployment benefits do get extended, they will be retroactive, meaning that people will receive the federal unemployment benefits dated back to August 1st when they left out. However, the main problem is that people can't eat retroactively. People need this money now, even if it's not the full $600. The Republicans and the Democrats must work together to get something passed. The Republicans want the unemployment benefits to be 70% of the prior workers' wages. The Democrats want the unemployment benefits to be extended at $600 per week. So find a happy medium. The two sides must work together for the American people. This is just way too important to sit around and bicker about. With that said, how much do you personally think the federal unemployment benefits should be for? Do you believe they should be extended for another 6 months at $600 per week? Or do you think they should be reduced down to $200 to $400 per week? Or do you think that we should get rid of them altogether? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Okay, so yesterday, President Donald Trump made some very interesting comments in regards to the next relief package. Even though Trump said that he was very happy with a lot of the pieces in the HEALS Act, there was still a lot more that he wanted to add to this package. President Trump made mention to a couple of different things. First off, he said, "We're going to work on the evictions so that people don't get evicted." To me, that is crucial. If something isn't put in place to prevent evictions, then unfortunately there are going to be lots of Americans in trouble and possibly living on the streets. So this is obviously very good news that Trump is fully aware of that and he's pushing for something to be done about it. Trump then went on to say, "We're going to work on the payments for the people, and the rest of it, we're so far apart, we don't care. We really don't care. We want to take care of the people. The Democrats aren't taking care of the people. The payments aren't enough. The payments aren't enough. You understand that. They're not making the payments. They're not making them high enough." Now, if you remember from before, Donald Trump came out and said that he wants to be more generous than the Democrats and give more than $1,200 in the next round of stimulus payments. So here we are, once again, Donald Trump calling for higher stimulus payments. So in your personal opinion, do you believe that the Senate will listen to Trump and make the stimulus payments higher? Trump then went on to say, "The Democrats are not taking care of the people. Nancy Pelosi takes care of herself, but she doesn't take care of anyone else. You look at what's going on with Schumer, so when Schumer and Pelosi can get together and take care of the people, we'll do something." So not that it's much of a surprise here, but Trump obviously isn't the biggest fan of Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer. Really, who would have guessed it? Trump then finished off by saying, "In the meantime, we have to stop evictions because that expires very soon, so we want to stop the evictions." So Trump really hammered home the need to prevent evictions. All in all, these were some very promising statements made by the president. And with that said, what do you personally think about Trump's comments? Do you believe that Congress will try to push through what Trump is demanding for here? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Now, as far as the new $1.75 billion FBI building being in the bill, Trump really didn't back down much. Trump has said that people have wanted a new FBI building for the past 15 or 20 years. When Trump was told that other GOP lawmakers opposed this measure, Trump said the Republicans should go back to school and learn. We need a new building. So obviously Trump really wants this new FBI building. The main problem here is I don't see why we should have the construction of an FBI building in a stimulus relief package based around the pandemic. What good for the American people could possibly come out of building a new FBI building? It's just really hard to make that case. And even if you want a new FBI building, sure, that's perfectly fine. But I'm not sure why we have the construction of an FBI building in a stimulus relief package. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Also, just to be fair, the House Majority Democrats also had a lot of hidden agendas in their HEROES Act as well. As far as how the negotiations between the Democrats and Republicans are going so far, Steven Mnuchin said that the two sides are pretty far apart right now. Now, Mnuchin has been considered a key figure, and he's sort of working as the middleman between the Republicans and Democrats, and he was considered one of the key pieces for helping put together the first stimulus package in the CARES Act. With the Senate now just having 7 more working days to get this next relief package passed, the pressure is beginning to mount. And you could say that right now, the Democrats have the most leverage. The Senate majority Republicans and Trump have a lot of pressure to put a strong bill together. If not, it's entirely possible that the Republicans could lose both the White House and the Senate come election time in November. The American people are watching right now, and come November, they're going to vote for who they believe helped them the most. Many Americans are facing the possibility of being evicted. Something needs to be done about that. Many Americans are also facing the troubling possibility of the federal unemployment benefits not being extended, so something definitely needs to be done about that as well. And finally, what exactly are they going to do for the essential workers? I believe that a very strong argument could be made that there needs to be some type of hazard pay for essential workers. Essential workers have been there for us during this difficult time, keeping our economy going. With that said, how much of a boost in pay do you believe that essential workers should be receiving? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Okay, so even though we don't have the next relief package passed yet, here are some of the things that we should be feeling pretty good about right now. 1. Stimulus payments. Stimulus payments are a bipartisan issue, meaning that both the Democrats and the Republicans feel the need for another round of stimulus payments, and Donald Trump came out yesterday and once again reiterated his need for the stimulus payments to be higher. So it's very possible we may see stimulus payments higher than $1,200 for the next round. I'm not sure if they'll be as high as $2,000, but it sounds like Donald Trump definitely wants the stimulus payments to be higher. So whether or not Congress will listen to them, that's still up in the air, but it sounds like our president wants these stimulus payments to be higher. Secondly, it's also apparent now that evictions are a pressing issue, so something should be done about that very soon. And finally, it's also pretty evident that the federal unemployment benefits are going to be extended, and even though it's not going to be at the full $600 most likely, it's still going to help and it's better than nothing. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm just going to go ahead and give a quick update on the first round of stimulus payments because unfortunately, there are still millions of people who haven't even received their first stimulus payment, even though a second round is set to go out in a month or so. Now, the IRS is going to continue sending out stimulus payments each and every week, and they're going to be sending out direct deposits every Wednesday. So the next set of direct deposits are set to go out on August 5th. So in the meantime, just continue checking the payment portal, and if you are eligible, you will eventually receive a payment date, and you will eventually receive your payment. Also, just another reminder, you can always call the IRS if you haven't received your first stimulus payment and ask them what's going on. The best number you can reach them at would be 1-800-919-9835. I would recommend to call them a little bit earlier in the day though, just to avoid longer hold times. Also, just another reminder, if you are an expat living abroad, you should receive your stimulus payment directly deposited no later than August 14th. That's if you do have a US-based bank account. Unfortunately, if you do not have a US-based bank account, it is going to take a little bit longer because they're going to have to physically mail your check instead. So it really depends on the carrier in the country wherever you live. Okay, so at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and answer some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you have any other comments or questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to respond to as many comments and questions as I possibly can. And those comments and questions that I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment of today's video. And that comment comes from Lou. Lou says, will the federal UI be paid retroactive? All right, thank you so much for that question, Lou. And unfortunately, the next relief package has not yet passed, so I can't say for sure. However, more than likely, the federal unemployment benefits should be paid retroactively, which means that this next relief package doesn't get passed until like September, for example, which I hope it doesn't take that long to pass. The federal unemployment benefits should be paid from whenever the last relief package left off, so you should get your unemployment benefits for the week of August 1st. All right, so the next question today comes from Kristen. Kristen says, who is eligible for the second stimulus check that wasn't for the first one? All right, thank you so much for that question, Kristen. Now, in the first relief package, dependents over the age of 17 did not receive any stimulus payments, and the people who claim those dependents over the age of 17 didn't receive anything either. Now, in the HEALS Act, so far, those dependents over the age of 17 would be receiving $500. So that's the only group so far that will be receiving something that didn't receive anything in the first bill. All right, so on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 2 free stocks from Webull, the second free stock valued all the way up to $1,400, please feel free to claim those 2 free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.